Welcome back to the Wizards of Amazon podcast, your weekly blueprint for explosive success. I'm Carlos Alvarez, full-time successful Amazon seller and organizer of the largest Amazon seller meetup group in the world. Let's do this. Welcome to the Wizards of Amazon podcast, where we cover all things private label. My name is Carlos Alvarez, and I'll be your host for the show. On today's episode, I have a really amazing guest, somebody who blows me away anytime we're talking about branding, Kitty Lai. Kitty, what's going on?
Hi, Carlos. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and it's amazing to actually get to speak to you again. And thank you so much for the introduction.
Thank you. We last saw each other. You live in the UK, yes?
Yes, London.
And I'm in Miami. We've actually met. You came to one of our local Amazon seller meetup groups when you were in Miami, Florida. When was that?
That was 2019 in March. So that's the first time I met you. I was actually on a girl's birthday holiday, and I thought, well, I've got a Saturday free. I'm just going to pop over, say hello to the Wizards of Amazon. And yeah, that was really great to meet you and your group as well.
Yeah, and then quickly thereafter, you were like the best presentation, hands down, on online seller cruise.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure about that. There was so many amazing presentations there as well. But it was really great to obviously meet you firstly last year, and then to know that you were going to have an e-commerce sellers cruise, online cruise in Miami earlier part this year, January 2020. And I was really keen to be a speaker on the cruise. So I was really happy that you actually allowed me to be a guest on the cruise. So I'm really thankful for that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Kitty, this is your first time as a guest on Wizards of Amazon podcast. I have no doubt that you'll be back again if I can impose on your time, because there's so many different topics I would love to pick your brain about. For people that have not, heard a podcast you're on or had the opportunity to meet you, in today's episode, I really want to pick your brain on packaging design and the role it plays in product marketing as an Amazon seller, which you are an Amazon seller.
Yes.
Before getting into that, though, so people understand, why they should perhaps listen to you when it comes to branding and packaging design, can you tell the listeners about yourself and how you got into the world of design and branding, and you as an Amazon seller, and just so they know you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my story goes quite way back, but I'm a specially trained visual communicator. So I did a BA honours degree in graphic design on brand communication. And that was back in the end of 1997 when I graduated. And I literally came into the industry in London as a graphic designer, working for brands for an agency, and then worked with retail brands. So one of my brands that I worked with were Ted Baker. So I was there for 10 years, and that's a retail fashion brand. So I was in charge of a lot of the labeling, the packaging, the brand communication that goes into stores, or the window communications. And then subsequently moved on to other brands like TJ Maxx, and I freelanced with them, doing a lot of internal branding and marketing communications. And then on to another UK retail brand called Cath Kidston. So again, I went in, rebranded the whole business, all their packaging, all the stores. So, I've got about 20 years experience of knowledge of branding and marketing, and packaging is the main thing that I love. It's the one thing that I really sort of gets me going as well. And I'm still doing it. I'm creating a new brand again. And how I got into the Amazon business was because I lost the love for design and the fashion world, doing all the branding. And then I had a bit of a turn, and I wasn't learning anything. Then I stumbled upon Amazon, learning how to create this, learn about the strategy, negotiating with suppliers, sourcing products. And I thought, wow, this is what I know already, working within a retail business. This was perfect. And I've never wanted to be my own business owner. And it just scared the living daylights out of me. But learning about the strategy, I thought, well, actually, I can do this. So I'm 3 years into being an Amazon business owner. I've got several products I launched in the US and UK back in 2017. And I have another business partner in the health and well-being arena as well. So we're creating products for that side of things in Amazon. And then I still keep my graphic design, the branding side alive as well. So I have lots of clients that come to me asking for rebranding for their businesses. I also have a personal branding side of the business as well. So that's developing yourself as a person. And obviously, if you want to promote yourself in online, on social media, it's like building your own personality and your own branding. But today we're talking about packaging, and that's where, you know, Carlos is very keen to talk about what role packaging has in regards to product marketing. So that's my history. It's in a nutshell, really. But yeah, so I hope that gives you enough to understand where I am.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's amazing. Out of curiosity, you said you lost your passion for design at one point.
Yeah.
Why, do you know like what caused that? Or I'm assuming you got it back?
Yeah. So 18 years doing what I've been doing day in, day out, working spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring, summer, autumn, winter, doing the same campaigns, Christmas campaigns, Valentine's campaigns, summer, you know, it just went on, and I wasn't learning anything. So for me, I wasn't developing. I had a team of designers. So I was passing all my knowledge on. I wasn't getting anything back until I did this Amazon course. And then that fueled my hunger for learning. And so with Amazon, there's so much to learn, you know, there's
every day,
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's okay. So I do, you know, and that at that time as well, when I lost the love, was because I had my son. So becoming a new mother, finding a new ground, I kind of lost you know, I just didn't want to concentrate on work so much anymore. And, you know, I found it, you know, back in 2017, and, you know, that's where I am now. And I just love it. So now I'm all about business. I wasn't about business before, and now it's just, you know, it's just a new journey, and I'm absolutely excited to sort of build new brands, help others to do that as well.
Thank you for sharing that. That's absolutely amazing. Your presentation on the cruise was the one, because it was my first time running an event at that size, but your presentation was the one I'm just like, okay, this is one of those things that could pay for the cruise. This is what I want to hear about. So I'm really excited to have you on the show. Let me ask you, now that you're an Amazon seller of several years, what do you feel like your background as your branding and your design background gives you maybe an unfair advantage or a leg up on your competitors?
In the design aesthetic side, yes, I think so, because I know what looks good. I know what colors work. I know what things and substrates. I deal with lots of suppliers, so I do know, you know, what I'm talking about when it comes to the packaging. In terms of the other side of things, the data analysis, the business, that's not my strong point. So, you know, I have to work hard, you know, PPC campaigns, all that. It's like, you know, it goes above my head. So, you know, I'm not, you know, so I wouldn't say I have an unfair advantage. Design side and an eye for detail, definitely.
Do you feel that packaging design, I mean, I think I know the answer here, but I don't want to assume, do you feel like packaging design is on a scale of 1 to 10 of importance when someone's selling a product on Amazon? Where do you feel it falls? 1 being not so important, it can just be in a brown box or a PE bag, to 10 being you better do the darn thing.
Yeah, so I'm also an Amazon customer as well. I shop a lot on Amazon. I buy a lot of things. And when it comes to packaging, I would say as an Amazon seller, probably 7 to 8. It really depends on the product as well. So if you're selling something just as simple as a hairbrush or something, that doesn't need to be beautifully designed, really. You know what it does. It's a functional piece of design, you know, a functional product. And the packaging doesn't really matter so much. Your customer knows what they're getting when it comes through the post. But the thing is, like, it's creating that brand experience as well. So we know Amazon, well, this is what you get. You get the Amazon packaging, but it really depends how far you want to go as well. So if you have your own e-commerce site and you're fulfilling by merchant, doing yourself, then you might want to create the whole brand experience. So like branded boxes, the experience they get when they open the box, you know, and it's the communication and the voice how you speak to your customer as well. So it might be a little
I'm getting chills. Like, I'm trying to remember all these questions to ask you, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so you might have a cardlet or something, a personalized message, or when they open the box, hi, this was made for you, or something, I've been expecting you, or some sort of message. It really depends on the product and how you want to talk to your customer. And I think it's the experience. And a lot of people buy online nowadays as well. And if you're not going into the store, you're not getting that whole experience, being in a store, the colors, the tone, the feelings you invoke, within the store. Now you have to bring that back into your product and your packaging. And I think it's very important that you do put that brand message across to your consumer.
Wow. Okay. How about, can you give an example? So maybe like myself and people listening can kind of assign a benchmark or something. Do you know of a brand or two that you could mention that are getting it right? It doesn't have to be a client of yours. It doesn't have to be something you worked on, but you feel like you've purchased from. They don't have to be a household name brand, but maybe a brand that they're really getting it right.
Right. I know exactly the brand that gets it right. Apple. Apple are the brand that they get it right. They don't even have to advertise so much. It's so simple. The packaging, you just need a logo on there. You know what you're going to get. And they are selling not the product, but the brand experience. It's the experience, the lifestyle. That's what they're selling you. They don't advertise to say, hey, this is a great phone. It does this and it does that. It's not. It's the pictures and the advertising. You see, oh, that looks cool. It's functional, it works, it's practical, and it's beautifully designed as well. And when you get the packaging, I keep every single Apple packaging. Obviously, I love Apple products, but I keep the box, even though it's like, actually, I don't need it. I'm using a phone, but you don't want to throw away. And so, I find a secondary use for the boxes, for the phone box. I put cards and things inside, and it's at least I can recycle it in a way that I don't have to throw it away. And I think a lot of businesses now, you have to think about the sustainability of a product and what are you doing? What impact does it have on the environment as well? So a lot of smaller brands need to think about that. And I think a lot of consumers buy into that now as well. So if you're over packaging something, unless you're a luxury brand, does it really need it? So you need to think about, what happens with the end use of that box if you're creating a box.
I love it. Initially, when you said Apple, I was like, yeah, but what about something that the average Joe, or who could get a hold of? But I think that's amazing because Apple, and I'm a huge Apple fan. It's so simple. How did they? It's literally like you said. It's just the Apple logo. Like how do they pull that off? I just ordered 2 Apple TV devices, and for the Wizards of Ecom location that's opening, and just like you said, the experience of pulling it open, like that.
Yeah.
It was such an experience. I threw everything else, all the trash out, all the Ring devices and everything. I threw all the garbage out. I kept the empty Apple TV devices. How do they pull that off? And what came first? They had an amazing device that had average packaging, and then they were like, hey, let's do the packaging. Or did the packaging start first?
Well, I think what they changed their brand strategy a long time ago when Steve Jobs came in. Before Steve Jobs came in, it was all about the product. This computer does this Apple Mac does that. It's all about this. And it wasn't about the consumer, and it wasn't about the experience. Well, how do you feel when you use the product? You feel great when you've got an Apple phone in your hand. It's the whole brand experience. And they changed their whole slogan, their whole look and feel. And it was all about what you get as what the feelings that it invokes. Because you think, I love it, and you will keep buying an Apple product because, they're capturing the brand loyalty for this particular product. And it's about the lifestyle. It's about what you think. And they talk about you. They never talk about the product. And whereas you might go to another brand, it's all about the product, it does this and that. So I think obviously there's brand psychology and packaging psychology. People want to keep beautiful things. And if it's covered up with words and pictures and things, it doesn't look as classy. It's just something I don't know what they've done. It's like a little drug that they've put inside, and they've like, I can't throw it away. I just cannot allow myself to throw it away. Even though you've changed your phone 10 times, you've still got the old packaging. Mm-hmm. So
that is wild. What about? I feel like the majority of the people that I speak to in my group, whenever we talk about the design side of the brand or packaging, they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to Fiverr or 99 Designs, and I already got my logo. I'm done. I already did that. Like they just write it off as it's just the logo. Two things: the importance of the logo in the overall packaging design. Like, how important is that, and what else is there beyond the logo?
Yeah, so it's how much do you value your brand? How much do you value what you're doing with your brand and your product? Because if you think it's just a fiver, then you're not giving it much of a chance. And I know there can be decent designers on Fiverr, but they'll just design the logo, but they won't think anything beyond it. There's more to a branding. It's about the colors. It's about the tone of voice. A logo, anyone can design a logo, you could say that, but it's whether it's a good logo. And there are certain things you can do to make the logo stand out. It's about the colors as well. So there's color psychology behind a logo. And obviously it goes through to packaging. So there's certain colors will evoke certain emotions as well. And some designers might not think about that. They might not have the complete brief because a newbie seller might just say, I just want a logo, I want it to do this, and this is what I've done. And generally most of those clients will already have something in their head. They've drawn it out. They just want that designer to replicate what they've done, but they've not thought about, has it been over designed? Is it literally a literal design? Because that's not what a logo is. There's so much more to it, and it's keeping it simple, and the amount of colors being used on a logo as well. You don't want to pack it full of like 5 different colors.
Psychedelic.
And keep it simple. And I've seen a lot of logos when people that have come to me. I mean, I do mentor as well, some Amazon beginners as well, Amazon sellers beginners.
Send me an invoice.
Sorry?
Send me an invoice.
Oh, yeah. No, and I've seen their logos, and someone asked me, and one particular mentee, she showed me, she had a journal. It was for cuisine. So it's for traveling and cuisine. So it's people that love to cook and travel at the same time. And she got someone on people per hour. So she created a competition for different designs to come back to her. And there was a range of them. And I thought, nah, none of them really work. And I said, choose this one. And there was a nice one. And it was like an aeroplane with a fork going through it sort of thing. But it was really overcomplicated. I said, move that out the way, change that, move that, and then do this. And she asked me for my opinion, so I gave it to her, and then she used the one that I told her to use in the end. And she was, the first 2 weeks she sold about 25,000 of her journals. And I'm hoping it was my advice on the logo that helped it, but she had a great product anyway. But I think it's really important to understand it, but not everyone does. And it's maybe because I've done it for so long, I kind of know what works and doesn't work. But when you're a newbie seller and you're not really a designer, I would put your hands in a designer, ask for, proper advice as well when it comes to design, because I think it's worth it. I charge a lot for a logo, and a lot of people get turned off and I can't afford you. Okay, that's fine. I've got 20 odd years experience of knowing what I know, and my products sell. So, I've been working for global businesses,
pat yourself on the back there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Can you touch more on, I know nothing about this. I'm going to try to give an example. I don't know if it's putting you on the spot too hard, but you mentioned, branding and colors and how it would communicate emotion or evoke emotion.
Yeah.
Would you be able to give an example of that? And the putting on the spot part is, let's imagine somebody without these 20 years of experience that you have decided that and this is a friend of mine just did this, is launching a baby bottle brand. Yeah. How, let's say they don't have a logo, they don't have any idea of colors, how to approach that? And yeah.
Okay. So baby bottle brand. So generally obviously I'm not talking about toys and stuff because that's a completely different color range, but baby bottle brands, it's quite muted and you want to keep it fairly generic as well. And a lot of baby products won't use colors like red, obviously, it's it evokes energy, love, strength, and excitement. Something yellow is more creative and happy, whereas green is more natural. There's a healing and freshness and quality about a color green. I'm wearing blue today, so it evokes trust, peace, loyalty, competence, that kind of thing. And I think you need to go for the sort of the neutral palettes, so something, or the pastel palettes as well. And you generally see that in a lot of baby ranges. And I know obviously you have a 1-year-old, so you have a lot of palettes. I mean, I have a baby range as well. So I used a lot of muted greys, putty colours and whites as well. So it was keeping it very neutral. For my baby brand, it's an organic baby products, and it's like muslin cloths and stuff. And I just kept it very muted. I didn't want to go down the pinks and the blue routes. You know, I didn't want to be gender sort of go too much with agenda. So I kept it really neutral. But I think with a baby bottle brand, generally, if you see most of the bottles, they are very pastel colors. They might have the odd blues, you know, the blues or aquas and stuff, but you know, there's a reason why they have it in these particular colors. And you know, you won't see a bright pink or a brown as such, because it will turn people off. And you have to think it's the baby that's using it in the end, and it's the parent that's going to buy it. What are they going to pick, you know? So
I'm blown away. And
right.
just, I worded that a specific way. My friend that has the baby bottle, he actually has extensive experience with design, and he did exactly what you just described.
Right. So, okay. That's good.
That is to say, I have chills. I'm going to share the episode with him afterwards. I don't know if he wants me to share his name, so I won't. But absolutely amazing. That was uncanny. Right. Especially that you said putty-like, because that's exactly something that he said before. Muted everything. That's scary. That is amazing. That was pretty wild.
Fantastic. Well, I'm getting it right at least. I think I do know a thing or two. So
pass the test. You know,
I did pass the test.
That is wild. Okay. What could you share a few things that you feel that Amazon sellers, I mean, they can't just know what you've known, even if they probably took a course and for 20 years of your experience, but what are they getting wrong? Like, what are some easy fixes? Maybe one or two low-hanging fruit that it's like, look, you're really getting this wrong. This bugs me when I see this. This is such an easy fix. Do this.
Yeah, I oh my God, I see a lot on Amazon. Seriously, as a buyer as well, you know, as a consumer, I say, oh my God, they should be doing this. So the first thing, because I'm a very visual person, colors and photography really matter. So when I see a product, and if I can't scroll past the first image, I need to see the 9 images. Use all those, put all those photos in if you can. I want to see the product being used, and I want to see lifestyle images. And a lot of time, a lot of the sellers don't put lifestyle images. How is the product being used? And if they've only just got the one shot, the main photo, that doesn't help me, because I want to see different angles. I want to see the size of it, you know, in relation to how, you know, if it's a phone, I want to know what the size of it is. And I think a lot of times it's badly done. They'll use a stock photo, or they'll take it on their iPhone. I think the quality really matters, and it's understanding how to do that. And I would advise those sellers to go on Pinterest. Go on and look at your competitors as well. Go on Instagram. How are other bigger brands taking photos of those particular products? Because no product is original on Amazon, and you'll know that you'll get different types of products in different categories. So go and see what your competitors are doing, see what the big brands are doing, and how they're taking those photos. Because all you have to do is like, oh, I really like that shot. Let's just replicate it, because it's, you know, it's a no-brainer. You know, people have got that, you know, brands have already got it sorted. They've got their photo shoots, and I think people need to show more of their product on the listing. Secondly, I would say it's the quality of the listing as well. So if you're not using all your main points, the bullets and stuff, I mean, a lot of them will just say the size, where it's made, what it's done. You know, you want to pack it out with the features and benefits. And I know as an Amazon seller, you've got Seller University to tell you how to create your listing anyway. So if you're not doing that, then you're getting something fundamentally wrong. And then the third thing actually is if you're brand registered. If you're not using totally forgot your brand store. Your brand store, yes, that's right. And creating your brand store as well to use every bit of space, bit of digital space on Amazon if you can. Put videos in if you've got the capability of doing that. Use all the photo slots up and pack out your listing and optimize it as much as you can possibly, because that's I guess that's where you gain as a seller, if you're doing everything right, and not everyone's doing it. And I know, obviously, Carlos, you give so much value to all your viewers and all your listeners as well. And I mean, I must say, your groups literally is amazing, because you give so much value and you just tell everyone how to do it. And if people aren't following what you're telling them, then they're getting something really wrong.
Thank you for that. I agree 100% too. Maximizing all of the space on your images, maximizing digital real estate with your storefront, your A+ content. And who knows what Amazon will be rolling out in 2021. Your stock images. So are you anti-stock images, would you say, for your photos? Like, you definitely want to bring in talent?
Yeah, I take all my photos myself. I've obviously invested in photographers as well to do it for me. So pack shots or lifestyle images. I mean, I had baby brands, so I hired baby models as well to actually model my products for me in the studio. But if you can take it yourself and make it fairly decent, I think that's fine. But if you're a serious brand, you would probably invest a little bit more into getting photography done properly. And I know, obviously, beginner sellers, they might want to just take it on their iPhone, but if it's a good quality photo and if it's just a close-up shot or a lifestyle shot, you might be able to get away with it. But I would seriously say, when you bring in a bit of money, you're making a bit of profit, I would invest in yourself and build that up, because at some point you might want to have a website as well. So you want to build that onto your Shopify or whatever website you decide to or platform you decide to go on. So yeah, I would definitely, for me anyway.
My dogs just started going nuts in the background. That's what part of the COVID experience, I guess, being in the house. But something, first half of my Amazon business, I did not invest in talent to be involved with my products. I would attempt to do the stock photography, and then one day I was with a friend who was using talent, and apparently he knew someone that was a lot more experienced than I in doing that. And I just imagined that if you want to bring in a model for a shoot, that you're probably talking about $10,000 a minimum. And I'm sure there's models that are like that, but I knew my friend and I was like, there's no way this guy, he's not even a good tipper. Like, there is no way this person is really going out there and dropping $10,000 on these models. I think he paid, it was under $400.
Yeah.
For, I think it was an hour and a half, 2 hours even, or something.
Yeah.
And he was able to give the talent ahead of time a list of instructions of what they're looking for. In this case, it was like a knee brace or something that the person was going to wear. And he wanted, for whatever research he did, for the guy model, he didn't want like extremely hairy legs. Like, he was able to really drill down that far into the type of model.
Yeah.
I was blown away. And ever since then, that's what I've done. I've had baby models, I've had pet models, I've had, athletic, I've had couch potato, I've had just everything. We had one where a friend of mine, a client, who does adult diapers, like for incontinence and stuff like that, literally wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
So my God. It was wild. This grown man, we've become very close friends, but wearing a diaper. So yes, I highly, highly recommend if someone's going to, get serious about their brand and private label, to invest in talent for the pictures. The other thing I really noticed for the people that say, well, even $500, that's too much. You're going to pay that, because if you invest, air quotes, $2 into stock photography, that really translates. I want to know if you agree with me on this, but this translates into a lesser conversion.
Yeah.
Your ad spend, like money you're paying on a daily, minute by minute basis. So if you convert less because of that, then you're just hemorrhaging money. It's almost like death by 1,000 cuts. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's like, how serious are you with your brand? Are you looking professional? Because if you don't look professional, people aren't going to trust your brand, and you want people to come to you and be repeat buyers as well. So I'm absolutely with you there, Carlos. I mean, I've worked with brands, obviously, and we always invest, but as a seller, definitely. I mean, $500 is not a lot, and once you get that return back, you've got it back. You know, your 500, you've got it back. Hopefully, 1,000-fold. You know.
Yeah, just the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah,
I think the photography, like the talent, pays for itself and some just in the launch of the product, and then it just keeps on giving. Kitty, you've been amazing, absolutely amazing. I want to be respectful of your time.
thank you.
Kitty, how can people reach you that have any questions, and are you able to share anything maybe you have cooking or in the pipeline or what's next?
Oh, I have got something cooking in the pipeline. But I cannot say anything because I'm making people sign NDAs at the moment.
Ooh.
I'm working on a retail brand, actually, a lifestyle retail brand. It's launching next year, but I can't say anything more than that. But it's going to be amazing, and I will let you know, Carlos, when it goes live. But people can get hold of me. I mean, I'm on Instagram, so you can message me on kittylai.brand. I'm also obviously on Facebook. I think it's the same handle as well, and on LinkedIn. So Kitty Lai. You just type that in. Hopefully, I'll come up.
So something looking at your social media, it's almost like a free course on branding. It feels. Like,
really?
No, I look at some of your stuff. I've screenshot like some of your stuff before, and I jump over with my team of VAs, and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know what that's called, but that's what I'm looking for.
Right. Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic.
It is.
But it's quite funny. I had to not reprimand, but tell somebody to take the graphic down because I'd created it. They used it in one of their groups that I was in, and she's in my group, and she'd literally used it. And I said, you cannot use that. The copyright design right is mine because look in that bottom corner. It's got my branding there. You cannot use. She didn't even realize. I said, take it down. I said nicely. I said, take it down nicely, and she did. So she's fine.
No. From our side, it's more of a like for inspiration and creative juices flowing. I don't know how to speak design.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like you see that. You see the consistency there. That's intentional. I want to do that.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. So best way to reach you would be Instagram at kittylai.brand.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Before letting you go, huge book lover, as everybody knows. I'm hoping the people that listen to this podcast, I wonder if I could see like a drop-off rate when we get to this point. But I'm hoping that everybody loves. I find it extremely fascinating to know guests on the show, what is their favorite book and why. So Kitty, what is your favorite book and why?
So at the moment, and I did get this ready for you as well, and I didn't know you were going to ask me this question, but this book, if you don't already know it, Carlos, is Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand. Have you actually read this?
Several times. I'm even trying to get not even a close second, best book I've ever read on branding.
Isn't it? I love it. Absolutely. I've got it on Audible. I've got this. I mean, obviously I'm starting to tag lots of things, but amazing book, all about, clarifying your message when it comes to marketing, branding. And I think everyone needs to read this. If they've got a business, then you definitely need to have this on your shelf somewhere.
Well, that's confirmation then. If you're saying that book is the real deal, then that's what it is. I've been trying to they have like a coaches program. Yeah. I've been trying to, and it's not cheap. No. I've been trying to get enough people in my group interested enough, and we all go in and bring down a workshop. Maybe if we pull that off, that would be enough bait, if you will, to get you to come back to Miami.
Absolutely. You know what, actually, I'll give you a little bit away, actually. The brand I was just talking, the new lifestyle brand that I'm creating, I might do a photo shoot in Miami. I really want to come back to Miami. So you never know. Spring 2021, I might be back.
Well, depending on the state of COVID and how things are, our goal as of right now is to go back to, with limited social distancing, in-person meetups for Saturday of January. But depending on how things are, I really hope I get a heads up when you're coming down, because I'd grab you coffee, come down to the meetup group, maybe have you present at my group in person, which would be absolutely amazing.
That would be fantastic. No, I'll definitely give you a shout when I come over. I will be over, and I will definitely seek you out, Carlos. I
love it. Kitty, you've been amazing. I look forward to already having you back on the show. You said several things that blew me away. I'm still with the exact wording you used for like putty and for the colors of the baby bottle. You crushed it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being on here, and I know there was so much more I could cover, but let's save it for another time.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Carlos. It's been brilliant, and have a lovely day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Liked what you heard and want to stay connected? Join our Facebook group or find me anywhere on social media at Wizards of Amazon, or text the word Amazon to 69922.